In this episode of Is It Worth It to Make Your Own or Buy It Store-Bought, we are looking at Salsa, restaurant style salsa. I've got the complete cost breakdown. I'm gonna show you how to make this salsa. It's so easy. I'm always spoiling. I'm always giving hints as to what you think my opinion is gonna be, but I'm gonna break it all down for you in this episode. Let's get to it. Now for the ingredient and cost breakdown for a restaurant style salsa. So this is one that's gonna be super smooth, blended well. This is different from a picante sauce, which is a little chunkier. But this is a jar that I had at my local grocery store. And the restaurant style salsa costs $4.24 for this 16-ounce jar. And a 16 ounce picante sauce store brand is gonna be $1.98. So they're not exactly comparable, but I'm just sharing two different salsa prices. Now for the ingredients for the homemade restaurant style salsa, we have whole peeled tomatoes, and we're gonna add cumin, garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and cayenne. I have red peppers and green peppers in the back there. Really affordable ingredients, all the little spices, maybe 25 cents. That's being generous, I think, because we're not using much of any of this. And then the whole tomatoes, the whole peeled tomatoes, for the store brand is $1.48 for 28 ounces. So we're gonna get not quite double the amount, but nearly double of what we would get in this 16-ounce jar. The San Marzano tomatoes, which I actually prefer to use that variety with making this salsa. I just like that flavor better. It's just subtle enough that you can tell the difference. Those are $3.88. This can is $3.88. You can get it in bulk from a warehouse store. I've seen it as low as $3.33 for that particular variety. So always be looking for the cheapest option for those. But if you need to be ultra budget, you can just use the regular whole peeled tomatoes. I just wanted to share these different tomato options with you. All in all, it's still gonna be cheaper, even if you get the more expensive tomatoes, and you're going to get more. So $4.24 for 16 ounces. We're gonna say anywhere between $3.60 and $4.10 for all of this, but you're gonna get 28 ounces, maybe plus a tiny bit, for this homemade version. So now it's time for me to show you how to make this restaurant style salsa. Hot tip, no cooking involved. All you need is a blender or food processor. Okay, slightly different view here. And I'm gonna go ahead and use the San Marzano because that's my favorite. We are going to open this can and dump all of the tomatoes and the sauce into the blender, and you might have to get the whole tomatoes kind of around the blades there. I'm gonna get my spinella to scoop all this out. I want all this tomato goodness in here. Next, we're gonna add a tablespoon of ground cumin. I have what I think is just the right amount left in this jar. This is gonna give it that smokiness. There's barely, I think this is, nope, not enough. Let me grab the other jar. So I'm just going to add to this tablespoon of cumin. Next is half a teaspoon of garlic powder. This is a 1/4 teaspoon, so I'm gonna add 2. A half a teaspoon of onion powder. The recipe on the blog says optional, but I always add it. So that's a half a teaspoon of onion powder. Half a teaspoon of salt. And a touch of heat. In this case, I'm going to be using a little bit of Hatch dry chili blend that I like to use. And here we have Cody waiting for something to fall on the ground for him to eat. He's always right here. So all of that is ready to go. I'm going to add the top. I'm doing this sideways, sorry. I wanted you to be able to see. With a blender salsa, you don't want to overdo it. So we're gonna pulse for 3 seconds, check the consistency, and if we need to pulse another second or two, we will. But we don't want to, we want the tomatoes to be just the right consistency. So we're gonna start with 3 seconds and then go from there. I think that's gonna be all we need to do. So this is a great consistency. It's drippable, it's a little thick, it's gonna be perfect on for your chips. It's gonna be perfect for dipping, it's gonna be perfect on nachos or whatever you're going to be using your salsa for. So we're gonna switch back over here and I'm gonna show you how to store it, give you a recap, and share with you my opinion on whether or not it is worth it to make your own salsa. We are gonna transfer this salsa to this storage container. Super pourable. Look at how much that makes. I'm gonna get that spinella out I had and I'm gonna scrape this blender for every bit of goodness that's in here that I can get out off of all these nooks and crannies. So this is perfect for that 28-ounce can of whole tomatoes is gonna just fit perfectly into this quart-sized jar. You can store this in your fridge. And of course, I don't know why you wouldn't eat this. I mean, we eat so much Tex-Mex and salsa around here. Even just like nachos for a snack or a lunch, that's a common snack and lunch around here. Especially in the summer when we don't want to cook anything. We just melt the cheese, add a little chicken if we have some. Super easy. I feel like the longest part of this homemade salsa is scraping it out of the blender. All right, we're gonna leave it like that for now. There you have it. Restaurant style salsa. Blended together. Look at the difference. We already went over that this is cheaper and we get more cost per ounce than we do this jar. Now for my opinion, is it worth it to make your own salsa? The answer is yes. You get more, it's cheaper, it's super easy to make in the blender. So the answer is yes. I want you to tell me in the comments if you make your own salsa, if you think it is worth it to do that. If you learned something new, please like this video. Also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the other episodes in the Is It Worth It series and all of the other cooking and freezer cooking videos that we have here on the channel. All right, with that, it's bye for now, and I'll see you again soon.